Anne-Marie, and today I'm joined by Kyle Timms. Kyle suffered with mental health issues from a young age, I believe from the age of 6. And when he was serving a term in prison, he came across Beyond Recovery, who introduced him to the 3 principles and helped him see that he wasn't broken and that he could access his own innate wisdom. So Kyle, the first question I'd like to ask you is what life looked like for you before you came across Beyond Recovery and how things have changed for you since then?
So life before, it was just chaos, life of chaos. I couldn't really cope in the world, if you know what I mean. And I allowed everything that's happened to me in life to have power over me, really. You know, so yeah. And obviously afterwards, I'm more free. I'm more free from within myself. And the things that like used to have power over me and control me no longer do. So yeah.
You're on mute, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, can't hear you.
Sorry. Can you think of an example where if something happened to you now that was out of your control and it would normally put you in a bad frame of mind, how you would have dealt with it prior to the understanding and how would you deal with it now?
Some of that happened before.
If you've got a real example of, or if you can think of how your mindset may have changed. So if you came across something unfortunate happening in your life now compared to how it may have seemed prior to you finding out about the understanding, can you think of how things may have changed for you or how your thinking may have changed? Yeah,
so like before I would have I would have spent a lot of time focusing on what was happening in my life around me, and I couldn't cope with what was happening. So like I'd take drugs to escape from that, made it reality, and like I'd get really angry. The anger I had would pour out, but like now, I don't have to take drugs to escape from myself, because like everything outside of me that's happening around me and in life, it don't really affect me in that way, because it doesn't have power, does it? It's like, for me, I'm the only one with the power. So no matter what's happening in my life around me, it doesn't have power over me. So then I don't have to take the drug to escape from it, because I'm in control, you see. So yeah, I think that's, yeah.
Go on, Jacqueline.
Carl, if it's okay with you, do you want to talk about your recent housing situation and how you've handled that? Because it seems to me that you had handled that quite differently in the past, and you've been so resilient.
Yeah, so sorry to cut in there. Like when I was released from prison, I was sent to a probation hospital, and I can't wear a mask because of my medical condition, which they knew this before I went there, and However, I was harassed for the first 3 days to put a mask on, and then threatened with recall to prison over it. And you know, in the past, I would have been fighting with these people. You know, I would have been kicking up a right argument, like. But no, I just I stayed true to who I am. You know, that pure state of love. For me, for life, for everyone around me. And I just felt there was no need to get angry over it, because I couldn't change, you know, what was happening there. I could only change how I responded to it, if you see what I mean. So yeah, maybe I would have got on my toes as well, knowing that I'd be threatened with a recall, threatened with taking my bed space. But no, I didn't. I just, yeah, I spoke to the staff, didn't seem to get anywhere. Spoke to my probation, didn't get anywhere. I spoke to my solicitor. But it just amazes me that in all of it, because after, they then give me like 4 weeks or so to find somewhere. And then after that, because I didn't find anywhere, they give me like a 7-day notice to leave. And I'd be homeless if like I didn't get anywhere, you know. But then probation couldn't help me with it. The council couldn't help me. And I'm saying to this, you know, this program, the staff at the program at the hostel, I thought you would have at least signposted me somewhere. But no, none of that happened. But it amazed me how I didn't worry, stress, I didn't get angry, you know, because I just knew none of it had power over me. You know, life, just living each moment as I have it. And yeah, I got through in a completely different way to I would have previous.
And how did it work out? What did you do?
So I had to leave the hostel the Monday morning, and I had a phone call, I think it was on the Sunday, to say that I'd be getting picked up on the Monday from one of the guys from the church who I'd met in the prison. And how it worked out is they put me in a hotel for a couple of weeks until I got my own flat. So then the room was paid up until Thursday, and I was offered the flat on the Thursday. Yeah. Oh, I needed like a 550 bond, you know, to put down on the flat. And I'm then contacting the council, you know, saying, obviously, I know that being classed as disabled, I'm like classed as vulnerable. So in their boxes, I'm classed as obviously a priority. But however, they still couldn't help me. I was happy to see me be on the street on that Thursday. But yeah, I just kept calming it all. I didn't get angry. I didn't get worried. I just thought something will, you know, pull through. And regardless of where I am, I'm just happy and content that I'm alive and I'm breathing. You know. But then I got a phone call from the church again, saying they've had a meeting and they'll put up the 550 bond.
Right.
And then I said, right, well, I want to have a meeting with you now then to pay you back. You know, and yeah. So I got the flat, and I got some furniture as well because the flat was empty. So yeah, that's me now. I'm in my own place, and yeah, there's a leisure centre next door, so I can attend that 4 days a week to get my strength back in my legs and get walking again. You know, so yeah, and there's a park across the way for the dog. 2 parks.
Amazing.
A double blessing with 2 parks, aren't it, Poppy? Yes, yeah. Yeah.
So have you actually, ended up in nice accommodation now after all that?
Yeah, it's a brand new. It's everything in this flat's brand new, all throughout, from the flooring to the ceiling, to all the walls, the kitchen to the bathroom. So I'm the first tenant since it's all been gutted and redone. So yeah.
Did you surprise yourself with how you responded?
I definitely did, yeah. You know, because like from being like the age of 6, even when I went into foster care, like a 6-month-old, you know. But then when I came out of foster care, a 6-month-old, from then out the system just failed me massively. And all throughout my life, I'd allowed what had happened there in my childhood to have power over me, to control me, you know, because I was stuck in it. But yeah, I see that probation put me in that situation, you know, and how I was just failed there, and then failed by the council and what have you. But I reacted completely different. I wasn't bothered. I just whacked my feet on the way out, you know. Yeah, so yeah.
Sorry, my dog's barking behind me at the moment. I'm debating whether to put her in the kitchen or not. So would you say that it coming, from the sounds of it, has come up better for you with your new accommodation? Would you say that was a case of universal mind being in action?
Something was in action. Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your accident, Kyle, and where your head is now with all of that?
Oh, so with the train, yeah.
Yeah, if you're comfortable.
Yeah, I'm comfortable. So, like, so I caught my partner having an affair, and I was real angry, you know. But like, I didn't take the anger out on Ben. I just went and stood in front of a train, and like took the anger out on myself. And then like I was in hospital for like 3.5 months. Left paralysed from chest down, and I had no feeling or function like from like there, like T3, or chest all the way down, like, and I just couldn't cope, you know. And my ex was in the hospital when I woke up as well, and she kept coming to the hospital, and everything just wasn't good. And after 3.5 months, I had to leave the hospital. And I actually had an exclusion order, so I couldn't receive treatment. And 4 weeks after coming out of hospital, I managed to get movement in my toes. You know, I just kept trying to move my toes and they wouldn't move. And I just thought, if I get the message from here, all the way past the brain, I get my toes moving. And I just kept praying as well. and I got the movement. But if I believed what the hospital told me, that I'd never walk again, then I would never have got movement, and I wouldn't be able to walk me downstairs now, because I'd be believing what was spoken over me. So that just reminds me of what was spoken over to me when I was a child, and how that stuck with me and controlled me, which it no longer does. The stuff from the child that was spoken over me, don't believe it anymore. I'm free of it. And even this with the injuries and that, you know. But afterwards, I had a massive breakdown, and I just allowed what happened with my ex and with my injuries to have power over me. But where my head is with that now, it's gone. It's the past, and I'm past it, you know. I'm no longer living it unless I keep reliving it in my mind and keep playing it over and over, you know. The record's gone. And, you know, don't get me wrong, there is things that, there is thoughts that I recognise now that'll always crop up due to what's happened. But those thoughts are just thoughts. You know, it's just a thought. I don't have to do anything about it. I don't even have to take it on. You know, it's just a thought. That's all it is. Nothing but a thought. It's great, honest. Life's brilliant. I love life. Really do. So yeah. Thought I'd share that, if that helps.
You just saying that just made me think of the Fast Show and the character in that saying about milk's brilliant and isn't life brilliant? Just reminded me. I don't know that you're old enough to remember the Fast Show, but yeah. It's quite a nice, happy memory there. So do you think about the future, or do you just live in the present now?
I think about things that I'd like to achieve, you know, but I don't need to achieve it to make me Kyle. I'm just Kyle. And, you know, like I say, that there is things in the future I want to achieve. You know, and you can't achieve it if you put your mind to it. You can achieve anything. There's no such thing as you can't. So, yeah.
You've pretty much proven that already.
I'll see you in 12 months when I'm running.
Yeah. Come out running with me.
When I will do. I'll be scrapping my wheelchair in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you could talk to the 6-year-old version of yourself, what would you say to 6-year-old Kyle now?
Oh, what would I say? I'd have to write a book, wouldn't I?
That could be your next project, or one of your next projects, maybe.
Yeah. You know, I'd just say, like, not to allow past circumstances to, you know, determine who you are. You know, not to become a product of that environment. Obviously, I've words about the dangers of drugs, and just like stay away from prison because it's a waste of life for one. Yeah, and just live life, you know. Be at that pure state of love within. It's like, yeah, It's not allowing anything to have power over you. Like you're the power bank, and you give power to any device you choose to connect to that power bank, you know. So if your phone runs out of power, it's got no power. But you're the power bank, yeah. So like I was saying, the thought has no power, does it? Till you connect it, till you make that connection with it. But even if you take a thought on and you know you start to get in the way and things start to become messy in the head, you can soon let it go because you took it on, so you can let it go. Yeah.
I love that metaphor of the power bank as well. It's sort of like thinking of it like electricity and plugging it into the socket, or not, as the case may be, not giving it life. Go on, Gillian.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi.
Hi, thanks a lot for sharing. I was just wondering about, you heard about the 3 principles first when you were in prison with Beyond Recovery coming in. Do you have an idea of what was the main thing that helped you kind of wake up to it? Was it hearing other people's stories, or was it part of the message that Jacqueline and her team presented to you? Does that make sense, what I'm asking?
Yeah, I'd say it was like the message that was presented to me, and you know, me just then like taking that and feeling and just going over it in myself, you know, finding it within me. And I'd say listening to the stories as well. It'd be a combination. Definitely.
Did it land quite quickly with you? I don't know how many weeks is a Beyond Recovery program.
Yeah, yeah, it did. I just sat quietly and just took stuff in, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I'd say even the second day when I went back to my room, even the first night stuff I was thinking about when I went back. So yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant it is.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can I share something, Kyle, from our groups?
Indeed.
Just that at the time we brought in a couple of guys, ex-prisoners who had been working with us, and they were impacted. You know, we were all impacted by Kyle, but they were impacted by Kyle. So it went both ways. You know, David, wasn't it? He was so moved and inspired by how Kyle was. And anyway, when we met him, his can-do attitude and his peacefulness, it didn't really take much to uncover that, because it was already there, and I think Kyle was already on his journey. So he impacted us just as much as we impacted him.
Yes.
I remember that we were on the fourth landing of the wing, and there are no lifts or ramps, and Kyle found a way of getting himself up the stairs. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty impressive.
That's amazing.
Yeah, as mad as it sounds, I miss climbing the stairs. I need to find some stairs that I can climb. I should have asked for my flat on the 5th floor, shouldn't I, rather than the ground floor? Yeah.
I also think it's amazing the fact that the doctors told you you wouldn't walk again, and you were so determined that they were wrong.
Yeah.
Wouldn't accept that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's just that things, like I say, that were spoken over me in the past, and now, you know, you can overcome it. Yeah.
You can overcome anything if you put your mind to it.
You can, indeed. There's no limit.
Be climbing Everest next.
The only limit is what we put on ourselves.
That's very true. Limiting self-belief.
Yeah.
Hey Kyle, we should do the National Free Peaks challenge.
Yeah, I'm up for it. Give me 12 months, I told you. Don't run before you can walk.
Something to aim to.
Yeah. If I put my mind to it now, do you think I could do it now?
It would not surprise me.
I know. No, I'm just, yeah, I need to get my legs a bit more stronger, and then, yeah, signed up for the gym, so I'm in there from Monday.
Amazing.
And swimming. Swimming's the key as well. It's massive. So, yeah.
Tell us about Poppy.
Poppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've had Poppy since she was 9 weeks old. She's just over 5 now. So, yeah, she's my baby girl. She don't leave me alone. She's here, look. Where are you? Saying hello. Oh, he's saying hello. Bless her.
It does almost sound like she's saying hello.
She thinks she can talk, don't you? Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you've got her with you, because I remember that's really what you wanted when you were in prison. You wanted to be reunited with Poppy.
I did, yeah. I did. Yeah. It's like when I got out, I didn't go to see her straight away, because like it wouldn't be fair on her. She, you know, to see me for one day and then disappear again. So I waited till I got my own place, till I could have her. But my friend in Leicester who was looking after her was moving to Swanage at the end of the month, and he couldn't take Poppy with him because they already had animals. So like I wouldn't have been allowed in the hostel. But just look at how everything panned out. You know, they actually did me a favour by kicking me out, because then I could be reunited with Poppy. And the hostel, the hotel let me have her in the hotel with me. So yeah, brilliant.
I think that's so amazing how things work out. They just work out. It's amazing.
Do you think things work out if you just leave them alone, as in much as, like Kyle said, he could have reacted badly to the things that were happening to him in the hostel? Do you think if that had happened, would things have worked out? This is just an open question. Do you think things would have still worked out? Do you think if you behave negatively, that causes negative things? Or I'm just sort of thinking out loud, really.
I think like you know, every action has a reaction, doesn't it? So it depends how you react, obviously, how then someone else reacts. You know, and if I'd reacted in the past previous way, then yeah, we wouldn't have been talking now. So yeah. Yeah, just seeing that like I just loved those people who was putting me through, you know, well, not putting me through it, because it's not like I even went through it. It's just like fresh air just blowing round me, you know. Just like the wind blowing past. That's all it was like. Because I loved the people. I took the emotion out of it, and then I didn't take it personal. So yeah.
I love that. I think that life is always trying to find a balance. Life like homeostasis, you know, life is always trying to find a sort of a happy balance. So when you have negativity, the life that's trying to be balanced can't quite go to where it goes. And how Kyle, I mean, it just looks like this, the way he tells his story there. On the last day, you know, then someone gives him the money for the flat, and on the last day this happens, and then he couldn't have had Poppy, so now Poppy's there, and all of that. I think that's connected to the fact that in the balance and in alignment, the best thing happens for everybody. And sometimes the best thing isn't the thing that we think that we want. And the more that you can go with that and flow with that, life finds its way again back into an equilibrium.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like being a IPP as well, you know, like I used to say to the lads that, you know, the only way they can keep you is by your actions and your behaviour. So back to like what Marie said there, is that, yeah, so how you react obviously can have a different outcome massively. Because even though the prisoner was getting worse, I was just being more freer. That actually, you know, that it wasn't that the prisoner changed. It was just my view on life and, you know, how I could forgive and love, you know, and not, like I say, not allow things outside of me to have power over me within, because ultimately they don't. I've got to give it power before it can have power over me. You see what I mean? Yeah. So.
I think earlier you were talking about praying when you had your accident. Were you religious before you came across the understanding? Or
for me, I wouldn't say it's religion. For me, I'd say it's a relationship. So it's personal between you and God, and not all the religion, because I think people confuse God with religion. That God is God and religion is religion. Like bread is bread and milk is milk. You know, bread can't be milk and milk can't be bread, can it? Yeah. So I had that relationship, yeah. Yeah.
do you feel that relationship's got stronger since you've come across the understanding?
I do. And yeah, it's life-changing.
Well, it sounds like a good note to end it on, unless anybody's got anything else to ask or talk about.
I just want to thank you, Kyle and Anne-Marie. That's just such a wonderful end to the day. That such a moving conversation and very inspiring and very, very deep. I love that answer that you just gave there, Kyle. That's made me reflect for myself on my own relationship. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. It's left me with a warm, happy glow for the rest of the evening. So that's set me up right the rest of the night now. Okay, unless anyone's got anything to add.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thanks for
Good
your
night.
story.
Have a nice evening.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye.
Bye bye.